How to get your team to try hard. Welcome to Mind Games TV, episode 36. Today we're going to talk about determination, or how it is to get your team to play determined. And this question is from Ian, so shout out to him. And he's talking about his arranged team. So he wants all his members of the team to have the same dedication. This is slightly unrealistic, he says, which is smart because it is slightly unrealistic. And he admits that, so that's good because I'm going to get into that. But basically the issue is like your team's not on the same page, dedication-wise. What are good, positive, nice, build-up kind of ways to get all your members on the same mindset? Okay, so first of all, thanks for the question. Remember, go to mindgames.gg/TV and ask a question and get it answered. That's about as simple as it can get. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so I'm going to go with I'm going to start out by covering this. This is a slightly unrealistic statement in this that's inherent in this question. So, Ian's right. What is your dream? Are your teammates actors in your dream? Or are they like stars of their own dreams? So, if they are actors in your dream, then give up on getting them to be as determined as you. Let me ask you a question. Are you 100% into like everybody else's random dreams? Like, are you 100% into like George over there, or like Susie, like getting herself actualized, like getting her to the point where she's like totally fulfilled all her dreams? You're like 100% every day you wake up and you're like, that's what I want to do, is get Susie to accomplish her dreams, is help her in any way I can. No. Do you sacrifice everything for Susie and her dreams? No. Okay. So, and there's zero expectation that anybody should do that. So, first and foremost, recognize that like if you are treating your teammates as actors in your dreams, then you're never going to get any sort of close. You're never going to get close to the kind of commitment that you give to your own dream. Okay? So, we know that Ian understands that. He said that this is slightly unrealistic. But how do I get them? What are good and positive ways of getting them all in the same mindset? Okay, so moving past the basics there, which I covered. You first and foremost, you got to find out what their dreams are. Like, what do they want out of the team? Why are they even there? And understanding that is the key. It's the key to unlocking all the rest of this. So you got to find out, now, this is tricky because you can ask them, what do you want out of this experience? And they could say something, but it might not actually be what they are really there for. So you have to be a studious student of people here. You got to look at what needs they fulfill, what really lights them up when they're playing, what kind of triggers them for enjoyment in the matches that you're playing, and what it seems that they get out of it in the long run, and what their ambitions are. What pisses them off when it goes wrong is also a really good hint. Okay, so once you understand that, then you can work to augment it. And there are two really good, important ways to positively augment motivation. And the first is relatedness, okay? So people want to be connected with each other. That's like the way that we're wired up. And one of our biggest fears is that we're not worthy. One of our humans' biggest fears is that we are not worthy to be connected to. We're not worthy to be related to, okay? So every time you get criticized, that little ugly dragon rears its head, and it's like, and we kind of freak out psychologically. So try to find ways of making sure that your team is built as a team, as a unit, team building, okay? This is the first positive thing, is that you guys are all worth being connected to, independent of skill level on the team, okay? Now, this is easy if you're just a casual team for fun. You can focus on team building, and you cannot replace people unless they're toxic. Like, I probably shouldn't use that word, thanks to like Thorin's basic opinion of toxic, but okay. What word should I use? Unless they're like a cancer to the team environment or whatever. Like, that one's even better. Okay, in case they're cancer to the team environment, you want to get rid of them, but not if they're like badly skilled, right? So anyway, but if you're like a competitive team, or you're aiming to become better, you might have to replace people for skill level problems, but you still want to do team building based on the fundamental aspects of humanity, what connects you, and try to overcome the fact that, like, yes, you might have to actually retire somebody from the team and replace them with someone who's better, and that's just the way it is, and everybody will understand that, okay? Now, aside from that, you also want to try to relate what it is that they want and what it is that they get out of the team. What it is that you want, what it is that they want. So if you're both seeking totally different outcomes while you're training on the team, but you're using the same method, which is try-harding, then that's sweet. So you want to try to relate like that determination and the try-harding and whatever it is that you want out of the team. You want to try to find a way to relate that to their dream as well, to their goal as well. So instead of them being actors in your dream, they get to star in their own dream, but it involves doing the same things that you want them to do for your dream. Okay. So that's relatedness, okay? Being related to what you want accomplished and being related to each other, connectedness. Feeling worthy to be connected to each other. I think that's the important thing here, worthiness, okay? So you're not trying to like cut them down. You want to try to build them up. All right, number 2, make them feel competent. Okay, nobody is motivated by feeling incompetent. Even if you're bad at something, you're confident you can get better, so you keep training it. Okay, if you're bad at something and you're confident you cannot get better, I don't know, maybe there's some twisted people that are motivated by that, just doing something that's senseless because it's easy. But I think motivation is like an emotion. It's a pursuit of a passion. It's an inspiration, okay? So people might do it, sure, but being motivated by it, maybe not so much. Okay, so tread carefully over narratives. Tread really carefully over narratives. I see this problem a lot in teams, that they build up narratives like as a defensive rationalization method, like the top laner is just really bad at teleporting, and then the team narrative is like, oh yeah, he's just bad at teleporting, but he's like good at Aurelia, so whatever, like, oh, he's always going to be bad at teleporting. These kind of narratives are really not good for competence, okay? When the whole team is narrating that you're always going to be bad at something, okay, that's just, you can't feel like you can ever train it. You can't feel like you can ever get better at it. You feel like every single time you screw it up, that's going to get pointed out. Every time you do it well, people aren't going to notice it. You're always bad at something. So narratives that are like rationalizations of bad mistakes are a big no-no. Make sure the team narrative is A, identify strengths, B, work on them. That feels good. It feels really good to work on strengths because you're like doing something that you're good at and you do it better. And then the team's like, dude, you totally crushed with Aurelia that game. Okay. And then observe improvement. That feels even better than working on strengths. Okay. Because your team like says, man, I didn't know that you could actually get better at Aurelia, and then you did. And so not only are you working on a strength, which is fun because you're crushing with it, but then on top of that, you get to like see improvement and get praise for improvement in that. So identify strengths or weaknesses, but focus on strengths, work on them, observe improvement. So if you're focusing on negatives, you do have to work on negatives sometimes. Obviously you have to like bring up your bad play to a certain level and then win based on your strengths. But so identify the things, work on them. So like it feels good to have a system and to approach that. And then observing improvement. So getting observed improvement from your teammates. You can have a system for that. You can have a week that focuses on a certain player. You can have a training that focuses on a certain player, and everybody at the end can say like one thing they thought that person did better with. You can steal things from the business world. Like at the beginning of each practice, everybody stands up and says like what their main focus is on this, and then at the end of the practice, like everybody gives an assessment of what they thought they did well when they were working on it. Stuff like that. So getting observed improvement out there. So that people can feel like their competence is improving, like their competence is getting better. That's one of the main pillars of motivation. So yeah, those are my suggestions for how to get your team try hard. You got to work on the culture. Culture is something that you cannot build. You can design it. You can architect it. You can put up a framework and hope that it grows. And you can water it, stuff like that. And trim the weeds, and then the culture will come. So, the weeds are those narratives that are pointless, and the watering is everything else that I just described in the structure. of that. So, yeah. Thanks for listening today. I obviously am recording this still with the other videos. You can see that my setting has not changed, unlike last week. I'm trying to do higher sound quality, which means, of course, I'm tied to my microphone. So I can't change the setting as much anymore. And that is sad. But I will, at some point, get one of those clip-on lapel mics that like then plugs in my computer port, and then I can record wherever I want. And I will do some crazy recording for you guys, like tops of ski slopes and whatever that I can pull off. I'll try to do it in the middle of the day here when it's pitch black and there's no sun, so that you guys can fully experience the hell that is Finland in winter. And if you want to know what that looks like, check out my Instagram channel. I have a magnet on my fridge. It's labeled Finland in winter. Shows exactly what Finland in winter is like. Mind Games Weldon's my Instagram. I just put it up today, so that's why I'm thinking about it. Anyway, by the time that this goes out, might not be today anymore. Might be 3 days ago. Sorry about that, everybody. What else? This Mind Games TV is brought to you by you. Thank you very much, my patrons. You guys are awesome. I love you so much. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. Like the fact that you 6 people have like offered to support what I'm doing just out of sheer generosity makes me feel so validated in kind of like producing this content. So thank you, everybody who submitted a question and really spurred my motivation. Super powering. So go submit a question. If you haven't interacted yet, I thrive off of interaction. I'm powered by your fuel. So give me fuel in the form of a question, or go to mindgames.gg/patron and patronize this show, or actually all Mind Games content for $5, €5 a month. That's something you can cancel or refund at any time. It's not an obligation. It's just a way to give back. And I will catch you guys all tomorrow. Any other news or announcement? No. Bye. Pink shirts rock.